Alright, so part 3 of the event is finally here, and as usual, you're gonna proceed and blast through it like the story mode, and of course, you're gonna receive few rewards like Prima Gems, and I think it was Fragile Resin if you can complete this whole story quest of the event. Of course, eventually you will reach the part of the event that is actually the event. Now this event is supposedly a co-op event, something similar to the Crucible event where a bunch of people and you have to fight a bunch of monsters to finish a task. But this time, it's different. miHoYo want to spice things up. So basically, the core mechanics of this event is you kill monsters, then monsters will give you a quote-unquote celestial energy, which you can then give to the meteorite. And then after a certain amount of the celestial energy that you can give to the meteorite, then the quest is finished. Basically, that's it. That's the whole mechanic of this event. But then miHoYo said, nah, this is too easy, so let's make it a bit harder. So then they added this mechanic where while submitting your celestial energy, and if you get hit by a mob, you will lose some part of your celestial energy and you have to start all over again, which is annoying. Really annoying. On top of that, they added 3 random modes on this event. So the first one will be the orbital shift, where basically the location where you can submit your celestial energy is smaller and is more scattered in the area. And then you have the dark omen, where monsters are a bit difficult. Think about it as instead of fighting regular hilichurls, you're gonna be fighting ruin guards. And then you have the unauspicious star, where if you get interrupted while submitting your celestial energy, you will instead not lose some part of it, but instead lose every single bit of it. So good luck. But then they also want to tone it down a bit. They added occasional buffs in the game where sometimes you can get an attack aura, where everyone inside that small AoE gains additional damage, or sometimes there was a mob that has an increased amount of celestial energy in which you can kill him, and of course it will give you a lot of energy back, which is, you know, not too bad. Thank you, miHoYo. All in all, this event is actually not that hard. It's like the Crucible event where you can just go in, go ham with no preparation, and be done with the event in no time. But I suggest you don't want to rush this, as always, because the event is gonna be up for like 7 days and there's no need to rush it. But this time, the event actually requires you to use your resin to acquire the rewards. The reward scales with your world level, and typically the higher your world level is, the higher your rewards, obviously. And the reward that you want from this event is called the Fading Stars Essence, which is what you need to get the Crown of Sagehood, but more on that later. After starting the event, you will be greeted with a 10-minute timer. If you fail to complete the progress of 2000 before 10 minutes, you will essentially fail the quest, which is a lot at first, but it's not, honestly. Each mob gives a different point, and each time you submit your essence, it usually gives around 400 points. So I actually recommend doing this in co-op since it will be faster, and of course, the chances of you getting interrupted while submitting your points will be less, and of course, it's less infuriating and more fun that way. The plus side of this event is that it's not a domain, which means you can use a multiple of the same unit, meaning you can have 4 deluxe or 4 ventis, but I recommend using different characters if you're with friends. And as always, CC will always be very good in these kinds of events, especially when there's a lot of mobs, and when you have Venti on your team, it is just a blessing when you have a Venti, since Venti can just use his Q and then everything just falls into where you can just blast through the event like it's nothing. So I do recommend using a lot of different elements just to get those elemental reactions and finish the run faster, especially if you have Venti CCing the entire enemy. After finishing the event, you can then collect your rewards for 40 resin, which means condensed resin doesn't work on this, and you may want to use your 40 resin for this just to at least complete the event to get the crown. And more importantly, of course, you may want to repeat this 7 times, as 7 times will get you Fischl. And she is a very good character that can be used as a support or even a DPS unit if you build her well, especially as free-to-play players will have more access to different kinds of character, and if you already have her, you can just give her an additional constellation, which is still okay in my opinion. And of course, after multiple tries and minutes of grinding, you will be greeted by the most important part of the event, which is the store. Now, first and foremost, what you would really want to get in this event is the crown, because what the crown does is when you give it to a character, it will increase their talent level by 1, which is really strong and really important, since the only way to maximize your talent level, especially if you don't have Constellation, is through that crown. You can reach level 10, which is, as far as I know, the cap for all the talent skills. And this is what you really want during this event. Also, if you have spare essence, you would want to get talent books. And instead of grinding in domains for the talent books, I recommend just grind the event right now and just buy all the talent books even if you don't need them. Since for the cost of just 40 resin, especially if you're in a higher world level, you will receive a lot more essence. And you can just buy the golden books for just a few resin compared to when you grind it on domain and have them drop at a small chance or a small rate compared to when you just grind the event for just 40 resin and just buy it off in the event for such a low cost. And in my opinion, if you're farming for talent books, this is the most optimal way to get them. Now for Fading Stars Might, you may want to get EXP books. Leveling up characters at first seems like an easy task, but trust me, in the late game, you will need a lot of experience books, especially when you're out of resources, and it is more efficient to use your resin on domains rather than leyline experience book. So I suggest that you want to get this experience book from the event store, and if you have spare, you should get Mora and then get another set of experience. And that's basically it for everything. I do hope that you enjoyed the video, and again, just to summarize, during the event, you want to kill mobs and then offer their souls to the meteorite gods, and then in the store, you may want to buy experience books and Mora, and then you prioritize buying the crown and keep on grinding the event till you get enough talent books, since it is the most efficient way to get books as of the moment instead of doing it on domains. So I hope that this video helps, and that is basically it. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you like the video, do leave a like. I really appreciate it. And that will be it for me. Thank you very much. Enjoy the game, enjoy the journey. Until next time, peace.